Another day, another betting scam. And this time, it's cricketers. The government's financial crimes sleuth, the Enforcement Directorate, has frozen over 11 crore rupees in assets belonging to star cricketers Suresh Raina and Shikhar Dhawan. They are caught in the crosshairs of a money laundering probe around a company called 1xBet, a platform that's banned in India yet aggressively marketed through celebrity endorsements and flashy digital campaigns. And its brand ambassadors range from Bollywood newbies like Avneet Kaur
1xBet app is an amazing app, guys.
to international cricketers like Kieran Pollard.
That's 1xBet.
Respect from 1xBet. Respect from 1xBet. Respect from 1xBet. Respect from 1xBet.
So, what went wrong? Who looked away? And from Mahadev to 1xBet, why can't we put a lid on these multi-crore betting scams? Listen on as I talk to ET's own financial crimes expert, Rashmi Rajput. It's Friday, November 7th. I'm Anirban Chaudhary. This is the Morning Brief. Hi Rashmi, welcome to the Morning Brief.
Hi, Nirban. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Busy day for you. Another betting scam has been revealed. Let's start with the most basic question. What is 1xBet?
Now, 1xBet is just like any other offshore online gaming app where basically somebody has to get into that app and start betting. It could be on anything. It could be on cricket, it could be on football, it could also be on weather. So, this is one of the many apps that is under investigation of the ED. Now, the thing with 1xBet is that the promoters or the main person, the main people behind that app, they're not from India. Or even if they're Indian, they're not working out from India. The app is registered abroad. All the transactions move abroad. For these online gaming apps which are working offshore, the money is going abroad.
So tell me how big, what is the kind of money transactions, what kind of business daily, monthly, quarterly or yearly does 1xBet do?
So their transactions run into thousands of crores. Now, to just give you a wider overview of this particular topic, there was a think tank research paper on online betting app in India, and they had said in that paper that the amount that we are talking about, the transactions, is around 84,000 crore. That's the kind of money that is involved in online betting apps. So, like if you see in case of Mahadev, which we have reported a lot in the past, or their sister concerns like Fair Play or Lotus 365 or Parimatch, they make around 400 to 500 crores per month. Now, Mahadev itself has been investigated for more than 5,500 crore per year. It's like an underground parallel economy. And therefore, what the agencies are doing is they're taking action against the Indian hand. But the main players, people who are responsible for floating these apps, they are abroad. And there's very little action that can be taken against them. So these kind
Who
of
are they?
so, like for example, if we take Mahadev, Mahadev, you have a guy called Saurabh Chandrakar, there's another guy called Ravi Uppal.
Sure.
These guys are supposed to be the promoters of the app. They both are not in India, they have shifted abroad. They
Right.
were both
And for
supposed to be
1xBet?
in the 1xBet, their promoters are still being identified. So, for them, even getting hold of these promoters is very difficult, and therefore, the investigation in the offshore gaming app becomes very difficult. The only investigation that is done by is only limited to the Indian connection. And these Indian connections are in different ways. There would be people who are responsible for operation of the app, who basically
Mhm.
take the bets and release the money to the clients. And then there
Mhm.
are these people who are responsible for the endorsement, who will get you people to endorse the deal, who will get into surrogate advertisement, which is the case in
Got
1x betting.
Can you explain this to me in a little more detail?
So what is surrogate advertisement? So what has happened is, since couple of years there have been a lot of investigation against these online gaming apps. So what these app or promoters have done is they have found a new way of attracting customers. They will create a genuine page on, like, say, Instagram or any social media platform on, say, cricket or football. For example, the ED is investigating this offshore betting app called Parimatch. Now, Parimatch has a page called Parimatch News. It could be about a tournament, it was about an outlook after a match or something like that. But at the end of the page, at the bottom of the page, there would be a link to Parimatch, the gaming app. So you go to that link, and then there is the way they will take you to the entire thing starts about how you can play betting and how to place the bet, how the money moves. And in surrogate advertising, what they have done is they have a proper ecosystem, a proper way of functioning, where they would have people who are doing the surrogate advertisements for them, like ad agencies who are floating this for them. Then they have these people who are getting the either the actors or cricketers or social media influencers to get it to promote their apps. Even these apps, when their promotions are done, the endorsement deals, Anirban, it's so interesting that these endorsement deals, the regular endorsement deal, there would be a contract between the two parties, right? Here there is a contract on a social media app or a messenger app. Like, the in case of Parimet, they found that many of these contracts were on WhatsApp between the social media influencer and the company. And these contracts used to be only be there till the time the money is paid. And this contract, there is no paperwork, it's just a contract which is shared on WhatsApp, and the other person receives it. And then whatever payment is to be made, that payment is also being routed through either Hawala, or it would be through an offshore bank account, and it would be then trickling into the account of that person, and then the payment is done. And the money involved is so high that these social media influencers or actors or even cricketers, they don't refuse it.
Of course, it's money that can buy 11.5 crore worth of properties.
Like in the
Right.
case of 1xBet, the reason why
Mhm.
these properties have been attached is because the ED has found reasons to believe: A, they were aware about the dealings of the app; B, they did it willingly, that they willingly endorse it, and then they took
They
the
meaning
money
the
through
two
channel.
cricketers.
The two cricketers. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
reason why the ED has attacked these assets, because these assets have been identified as proceeds of crime. But we have to make a distinction. They are not accused
Yeah.
in the case. Huh? They have been seen as somebody who's enjoying the benefits of the proceeds of crime.
Is this the first time? I'm just curious. Is this the first time ED has attached the properties of sports persons? Though there have been other cases when they've been under the scanner, but
I think so. In the recent past, this might be the first time, because
mm,
the last time that the ED had investigated was IPL seasons, and that investigation also actually did not go much further, because the predicate offense on which the ED was probing the case, that fell apart, and Lalit Modi had left the country. And since then the ED has been trying to get a lot of details on him, but they have not been able to get a lot of meat on him.
So, Rashmi, why is the system still infested with these betting apps, even though now there is a law that bans betting in India?
The law actually has helped the offshore players a lot. Now, the thing is, the law is banning betting in India, but these apps are operating from offshore. So there is no law that is kind of affecting them. For them, it has actually worked as a blessing in disguise. We had done a story about how post the ban, post the new act,
huh.
the offshore gaming apps have been able to float on the various social media that in our case you don't have to pay GST, in our case there is no law that is going to affect you, so you have to come on our apps and play. So many of these customers who are actually playing on Indian sites, they have now
Mm,
shifted to offshore apps because that is more convenient to them. So what happens is, how this entire thing works is, if they identify an app, they will tell Meti about this particular app, and then that particular app is closed. But because there is so much of demand, that app
mhm.
changes its name the very second day. And also there is a dedicated customer base. Suppose a Lotus 365 is banned today, it will be floated as Lotus 364 tomorrow. And then there would be that entire customer base will shift to Lotus 364, because they
Right.
have the dedicated customer base.
So, can we say that many sections of the Mahadev betting app are still thriving under other
Very much,
names?
very much.
Understood. Finally, Rashmi, what lies ahead? Will there be what will happen to Suresh Raina and Shikhar Dhawan? Have they said anything? Have they made any statement? Any other celebrities that will come in the fold?
Many of
also?
them have been questioned. There have been a lot of cricketers, a lot of actors, a lot of social media influencers who have been questioned in the past in this case. And this is just one of the case. Anirban, in days to come, we'll have many more actors and cricketers and the social media influencers going to ED's office because there are many such apps which are under investigation. So this will continue for a while. Like one of the investigators once told me that now, since there is so much of focus big ticket matches and everything, what these apps are doing is they are also getting into local matches, like a match that is played in Gujarat, or let's say the matches which is played in Tamil Nadu. People will not be looking into that, but they're trying to find their clients there, because those people would be like interested in placing bets. And as I said, the audience, the people that they want to catch, but these small bets make up like a huge sum of, if it is true, of 84,000 crore.
Understood. Right. Thank you so much, Rashmi, for joining us.
Thank you, Anirban.
So, these are really early days. As the probe widens, the fallout may go well beyond cricket. But this case is just another reminder of the same question. Just how far behind are we in regulating our digital economy? This episode was produced by me and Indranil Bhattacharjee, sound designed by Rajas Nayak. A new episode of The Morning Brief drops every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, don't miss our other show, Corner Office Conversation, where we talk to the most interesting business and thought leaders from India and the world. Stay tuned in. All external clips used in this episode belong to their respective owners. Credits are mentioned in the description.